Hey there, DFW. I talk a lot about buying and selling real estate and all the stats and things that go along with that. But today I want to talk about rental prices here in DFW and what they've done over the last year, how different property types and sizes can affect the rent price, even one special feature that can dramatically increase your rental price. Please hit a subscribe and like button. All of that coming up. But first, I'm Kiel Lindsey, your property geek with eXp Realty. Let's geek out over some rent prices. First up, I want to show you an interesting graph that's covering rent by property type. So as you can see here, I got a lot of different property types. These are all the property types that have actually rented something through the MLS in the last 12 months. And as you can see by the red bar is the count of number of rentals in the MLS. It is dramatically higher for single family homes. Now, this makes a lot of sense because not very many people rent farms and mobile homes and manufactured homes inside the four main counties of DFW. That's Collin, Denton, Dallas, and Tarrant County. And so I don't have a lot of good information for these. Now, I do have a few median rent prices for some of these, but really what we're going to dive into is single family homes because I have a lot of data to talk about there. Everything else, obviously apartments don't really list in the MLS very often, so I don't really have much to go on there. That's why I'm going to focus all on single family homes. And first up, I want to talk about how the size of the home affects the rent price. And then I'm going to talk about what they did last year, or what the rent prices have been doing over the last year. The graph I'm showing you now, the blue is the rent prices and the red are the number of records I have for each. This really shows you two things. One is what is the most common size of rental in DFW for single family homes and what happens to that price as they get bigger. Now, understandably and shocking no one, the rent prices go up pretty steadily as the house gets bigger. That makes sense. Bigger house rents for more. Normally, bigger houses are a little bit nicer areas as well, so you're still going to get some more. One thing I don't show here is your rental dollar per square foot. A lot of people think it's $1 per square foot. If you were in the $4,250 price range, really, a lot of these are $3,500 and above. Well, look at that, $3,250 and above, $3,000 above. They really do follow that as you get into bigger houses. But as you get into smaller houses, that no longer applies, especially as you get into the homes in our most common four size ranges from 1,500 square feet all the way up to 2,500. Anywhere in that range, it's not $1 per square foot. I'm not going to do the math on that. Maybe someone can do and leave a comment below. But looking at this, it is not a straight dollar per square foot. I think that's pretty interesting. Something to keep in mind too. In our four common biggest size ranges. Next, I want to show you what the rent prices have done over time. Now, over the last couple of years, they have gone up dramatically, especially from 2019 to last year, 2022. We saw some pretty dramatic rent price increases, making rentals slightly unaffordable for a lot of people. A lot of people that were renting houses go back to apartments or have to downsize the size or quality of rental they were in, which I hate. I don't like that for the industry, but with soaring rent prices, taxes have gone up dramatically and landlords have had to increase their prices to keep their margins the same. Because keep in mind that this is a business for these landlords. I know if you're a renter right now and you feel like your landlord's gouging you, hopefully I know that's not a consolation, like, oh, now that makes sense, I'll just not be mad at him. Of course, if you're not getting what you're paying for and they're not doing certain things, that's an issue. Rent prices normally go up every year, but last year we saw something pretty interesting. And looking at this graph behind me, I've broken this one out by bedroom count. And the only size range here that stayed stable or might have gone up slightly is the 2-bedroom size range. And that makes sense. 2 bedrooms are very highly desirable because they're in the most affordable price range. So a lot of people that might have downsized or hopefully were trying to move from an apartment to a house might have been looking at 2 bedrooms, and we saw that increase and stay stable throughout the year. Now, everything else, 3, 4, and 5 bedroom rentals here, all declined year over year. Now, as you can see, starting in January and February for some, these prices have been going back up recently, but hopefully they don't get too bad. Seasonally, they normally go up in the summer. Summers are normally our big rental months, just like our big sales months. I'm hoping these don't get too crazy like they did last year. because it is nice to see that year over year, especially this 5-bedroom, $3,400 versus $3,695. 2647. This is up slightly, but we're still seeing a slight downward trend here. And 2200 versus 2195, that's pretty flat in the 3-bedroom, but we're hoping for most of the renters out there that this does not increase too dramatically for the rest of the year. What is that one feature that will dramatically increase your rent? Some people may think I've heard it, a fireplace, maybe it is a 3-car garage, but what I have found the most dramatic increase in rent based on one feature alone is a pool. And when you look at this, you can see that in certain size ranges, it gets very dramatic in the price increase. So 2-bedroom, it's about a $400 per month rent increase. And that isn't as big as some of these other ones, but from $1,800 to $2,184, that is a big jump in rent. Now, I would say probably the most cost-effective size range to get a pool in is the 3-bedroom, because you're typically going to get a little bit bigger house. And the rent price is on average only going to go up about $438 for that pool. Whereas in a 4-bedroom, that's more than double. Sorry, it's $438 to $920. So it more than doubles the difference here. So from $2,580 median rent all the way up to $3,500. And this is across those 4 counties I mentioned earlier. And what a dramatic price increase for a 5-bedroom. Does anyone here think it's worth $1,600 extra a month to have a pool in the backyard? I mean, maybe, but if you are willing and able to pay $4,800 a month in rent, please contact me, because I can get you into a house cheaper than that with a pool, hopefully in the area that you want. But yeah, I don't really see a reason why you would pay this versus buying a house. But I know everyone's situation is a little bit different. I'm just math wise, my brain screams when I see that. All right. Another cool feature I wanted to show you guys is rent by city. So I want to show you the top 25 most expensive cities in DFW, and then the top 25 least expensive cities to rent in DFW. Feel free to screenshot this or record, or feel free to pause here or screenshot this, but it's pretty eye-opening when you see some of the dramatic rentals that are out there. So the top 3, of course, being very high. The number 1 in Westlake, $16,500 for, it is a 6,300 square foot house or median. So these are big houses. That's a tax bracket that I don't belong to. So good for these people. But once again, if you're paying this, maybe we could talk about purchasing. I'd love to help you find that $4 million home. Highland Park is obviously in Southlake, very expensive as well. And then we start getting into what I would call more of our normal rental price ranges. Around $3,000, $3,200. I know that's really expensive for some of us here, but these get into a little bit more of our normal price ranges here. We're seeing a lot of 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, and then our normal size ranges as well. In our top 25 least expensive homes, cities to rent in. Number 1 being Sansom Park, $1,450 a month median rent, 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. And you're looking, as you get into Aledo and Blue Mound, again, the price ranges here, for a lot of people, this could still be close to unaffordable as we go through, but these are the least expensive cities in DFW. As you get into Azle, Duncan, and Saginaw, you're looking at your 3-bedroom, 2-bath house for most of these, 1,500, about 1,800 square feet, versus our other list over here where you're seeing a lot of 2,200 to 2,500 square foot homes. Obviously, like we saw earlier, the bigger the home, the more expensive the rent. I also have a fantastic rent versus mortgage breakdown, but I will save that for the next video. If you've stayed tuned this long, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. And if there's anything I can break down for you further, maybe you're looking in a particular area of DFW, if you want to look at a particular neighborhood even, rent prices don't vary as much as home prices for sale, but they still can vary very widely by city, as you can see here, zip code or county. So let me know in the comments, and I would be happy to look something up for you. Thanks. Have a great day.